Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a fabulous day. If you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to the channel, please do so. I want you to ring that notification bell. That way, when I drop this video, you guys will be notified. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to download my book, Credit Anatomy, go in the description. Go ahead and download that book. If you guys are looking for secure credit cards, what type of secure credit card should you apply for? I created a Google sheet that you can get in the description as well. But what I want to do in this video, I want to talk to you guys about some things that you need to be aware of when you're going through credit repair. And I try to stress, and I don't know if I stress enough about what you need to make sure of when you guys are going through credit repair. And the only reason why I'm making this video is because I get a lot of people that call me up and they will ask me certain things, and when I get the same questions over and over, chances are I'm going to make a video about it. There's a lot of credit repair companies that will just take any client. It's like a revolving door. They just get people, and they have a lot of churn, and they get a lot of people coming in and going out. I think it's because they're not setting the proper expectations and taking the clients that really need credit repair. Because there's a lot of people out here that think because they have a collection account on their credit report, I'm going to call up a credit repair company and they're going to do some work. And a lot of you call me up and you guys want me to help you with your credit, which is fine. But you have to do the work up front. Right? You have to put yourself in a position that when you go through credit repair, that you're going to be successful. Most of you that sign up for credit repair don't really understand what it is that you're signing up for. And it's a relationship. It's a commitment to yourself that you, over the next 24 months, are going to commit to building your credit, fixing your credit, and putting yourself in a position so that when you apply for a loan, you're in a position to negotiate terms. And that's what this whole process is about. And I don't know, I talk a lot about mentality, and there's a lot of YouTube people that talk about mentality, but understanding what you're signing up for is probably the most important thing. Because if you're trying to get into a credit repair company, and you think, oh, I'm just going to sign up for a couple of months, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. I got some templates. You guys can dispute on yourself. All right? Dispute for yourself. Because far too often, people will join a credit repair company, go through a couple of rounds, things don't really come off your credit report, and you think automatically it's the credit repair company's fault, or it's the credit repair, oh, they didn't do what they said they were going to do. This isn't something that is an overnight process. This is a commitment. This is a journey that you're going on with me. I'm in a blessed position because I don't have to take a lot of clients. And I'm going to tell you guys a quick story that just happened to me recently. And I get a lot of sales calls, right? Once you start your business, you're going to get a lot of sales calls from professionals and this, that, and the other. And there was this gentleman out of New York, and I don't, well, obviously he watches my channel because what he did was kind of shady, right? So what he did was he called me up and he said, he acted like he was a client. And I asked him if he had certain items on his credit report. He said he did not. Then he said he just had 3 collection accounts. I asked him what collection accounts, and he didn't really sound really convincing of the commitment that is required in this whole process. Because if you call me up and I ask you what items are on your credit report, and your reply is, I don't know, what you expect me to do everything, do all the research for you? You have to have some type of commitment to at least know what's on your credit report, right? You have to have some type of commitment. But this gentleman didn't know anything on his credit report, and so he's just going along and he's telling me this, that, and the other. And I tell him, I said, hey, look, this is what I recommend. I recommend you to go get a couple secure credit cards because he said he didn't have any credit cards. And when you get those credit cards, I suggest the MyJewelers New Coast Direct and a self-lender account. And I started explaining to him the process, and that was it. We got off the I tried to get off the phone. This is where it gets interesting. He says, hey Kenny, just want to let you know, I don't have bad credit, and I'm paraphrasing all this. This isn't exactly what he said, but I don't have bad credit. What I am is I'm a sales consultant, and I want to teach you how to close clients, right? And I was like, that's kind of shady, right? And he starts telling me about my closing and all this other stuff, that he can increase my closing rate on clients and do this, do this magical thing with me, go put me through his program, and I was going to become this salesman. And I let him go on his spiel. And I said, what makes you think I didn't close you? And he's like, what do you mean? Well, I ended the conversation, gave you some education. I didn't want to do business with you. Right? You were ready to get off the phone at that point. That's my close. And I'm a really simple dude. If you call me up and you're not committed to the process, there's a really good chance that I'm going to decline. Most credit repair companies, they will just work with anybody, and I'm not that person, because I know what it takes. And if I get the feeling like you're not convinced that you can go through this with success, I'm not going to sell you on it. You guys seen my work. You guys seen what I've been through. And those of you that want to go through the process of, I'm going to get a couple deletions on my account and I'm going to have a beautiful credit score, you're going to be on an uphill battle. I'm telling you that right now, because there's so much more to this process than deleting items off your credit report. And a lot of times that's what a lot of credit repair companies focus on, is delete. And there's a time and a place for it, right? But there's other things involved in this entire process. Understanding that you have to go out and get credit cards. You have to go out here and build your credit. And if you're not willing to do this, if you're afraid of credit, I understand. But this whole entire channel is about getting you prepared and getting you to understand that credit is a tool that you use to enhance what it is that you're trying to accomplish, your goals, right? Whether it's you start a trucking company and you don't have 20, 30,000 sitting in the bank. It's a lot easier to go and get the 20, 30,000 in credit cards than it is to save 20, 30,000. Get your business up and running. These are the things what credit is used for. God forbid something breaks on your truck, you need to have reserve ready for you so that if something happens, you have access to capital. And this is what we use credit for, not to go out and buy, depreciating assets like cars or, go out buying handbags or shoes or suits or what have you. It's to put yourself in a better position so that you can acquire assets. And when you are looking at it in that prism, when you're looking at it through that lens, you have a tendency to expand your mind. Your mind kind of opens up because now you're looking for opportunities because you know you have access to capital. And it's something weird that it kind of happens. And I know I'm kind of rambling, but this is those of you that are new to this channel. When you see me in the truck, a lot of times this is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to talk to you guys about credit and get you guys in the right mindset of when you guys call me up and what to expect out of this whole credit repair process. Most of us wasn't born with a wooden spoon or a silver spoon in our mouth. Most of us was born with that wooden spoon in our mouth. And we come from the school of hard knocks. And this channel is about getting you guys in the right situation, helping you guys get to a position to where when you walk into financial institutions, you can get approved. Because, man, how many times have you got denied? And if you're tired of getting denied, it's not a real, tough process to put yourself into. Now, I will say this. A lot of you that go through my program, you guys wonder, okay, so what's the next step? Like, what do I do next after I start building my credit? What do I do next? Well, I want you guys to understand that just because you have 5 items on your credit report don't mean you stop, right? It doesn't mean you stop. But it doesn't also mean that once you get to a 650, you become a credit hoe. Those of you that haven't watched that video, I got this term that I use about being a credit hoe, where you're just going out applying for everything under the sun. You got an Indigo, you got a Credit One, you like the blue sky, like you apply for every single thing just because now you have a good credit score. And that is not the way to go about it. And the way that I try and teach people is, once you start getting into the 650 range, there are certain credit cards that I deem as very, very important to your credit profile. One of them is a Discover It. Whether it's secured or unsecured, getting that card is really important, because Discover is one of those financial institutions that when they pull your credit, as you go along, they pull your credit and they're always reviewing your file and giving you increases. And a lot of times when I'm dealing with people that have a Discover card, the Discover card is probably going to be your highest credit card in your wallet, just because they're so aggressive with increasing your limit if you're doing your credit properly, right? And I'm going to talk about that next. When you are trying to find the credit cards, you should be applying for credit every 2 to 6 months, right? I would say every 3 to 6 months, right? Every 3 to 6 months, you should apply for another credit card. But it should be financial institutions that you truly want to do business with, right? And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you went out and you got the MyJewelers New Coast Direct, you got you went through the CreditLiving, you got our secure credit card, and you went and got a Capital One, right? Let's say you got those and then you went and got a self-lender account. Once you have that foundation, your credit score is going to start building. And then I get people that ask me, okay, Ken, what do I do next? What's the next process? As I'm, let's say you're going through my credit repair. About 6 months in, you should apply for another credit card if you're going through credit repair. If you're not going through credit repair, it should be anywhere between 3 to 6 months. And you will have a lot of credit repair companies that will say, don't apply for credit. It depends on the credit card. If you have a pretty good shot at getting approved for the credit card, then absolutely. But if you guys are wondering, should I apply for credit? There's a link in my Google Sheet. If you go in the description, some of you can go and apply for the Discover It pre-approval, right? You can go in the link of the description. I believe it's on the 3rd page of my Google Sheet. There's a link where you can apply for a Discover It card and see if you get a pre-approved for it without getting a hard inquiry. And if it says that you're not going to get approved for it, don't apply for it. If it says, there's a really good chance you can get approved for it, then go ahead and apply for it, right? And that's the way I look at it, because you want to make sure that when you apply for something, you want to make sure that what it is that you're applying for counts towards your credit, right? If I get a hard inquiry, I want to be as close to positive that I'm going to get approved for that credit card. So some of you that are in the 500 range going out applying for the Discover It, chances are you're not going to get approved, right? I hope you do, but chances are you're not going to, right? And there's a lot of people that talk about, just go out and get a Discover It card, go out and get a Chase card, go out and get a American Express. It's not that easy. If it was that easy, those cards will not be as prestigious, right? They make it complicated, and they only deal with a certain credit profile for a reason. And if you guys understand that and just focus on, okay, once I get to about the 650 range, I'm going to apply for a Discover It. There's a really good chance if you're about the 650 range, you're going to get approved for that credit card. If you are right about the 620 to 630 range, and if you don't have the Capital One, there's a really good chance you can get approved for a Capital One credit card if you haven't burned them before. And you use this ladder to improve your credit profile. There's so many credit cards out there. Just understand that it's financial institutions that you want to do business with. Like, let's say, Capital One, Discover. You might have to build yourself up to, a Chase or something like that. But there's other credit cards out there that you can try and get, whether it's a Bank of America, a Citi. These credit cards are still somewhat prestigious because these are financial institutions that you could do business with in the future. And as long as you guys keep building your credit, don't stop just because you got the foundation. You still want to be building your credit. Whether you want to go out and get an auto loan, maybe you have a car and you want to refinance your car. These things that I'm trying to teach you is trying to put you in a better financial situation. Some of you are walking around with, a 650 FICO score, and you have an auto loan that you had to get with a high interest rate, right? Like 22, 23%. Not knocking you. I understand. I was there before. But what you want to do is, okay, I got my credit right. Now I need to go talk to a couple of financial institutions to see if I can get a refinance on my car, right? And that's these are the things that are going to help you get to the next level. And if I can get you guys to focus on these things, we're all going to be for the better. And just understand, yes, you may have a thin credit profile, but you can still build your credit. You can still build your credit. And calling me, what should I apply for next? Please don't do that. Please don't call me up and say, what should I apply for next? Do your research and apply for the cards that you deem are important to you. I don't know what's important to you. I don't want to know your credit profile. But limit your questions and please and respect my time. Just understand that I'm trying to help a lot of people. But what should I apply for should not be a phone call that you make to me. There's a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of credit cards out there. Sign up for Credit Karma, even though Credit Karma, they lie to you. A lot of you, applying for all these different credit cards just because Credit Karma said that you can get approved for it. It's not always the case. It's not always the case. So just handle your credit properly. This is going to be something that I want you guys to understand, as far as there's a difference from trying to get a credit limit increase on your credit cards and trying to build a relationship with the bank. It's two different things, right? It's two different things. So if, let's say you got a Discover It card or a Capital One card or a Chase card, any credit card that you have, the way that you go about it, and I always preach you want to stay between 2 to 7%. Now, what I'm about to tell you is going to be very, very dangerous. It could get you in a lot of trouble financially, but this is the next step to everything that I've been teaching you guys. Here it is. In order for you to get a limit increase or an increase of your limit, a high limit credit card, your financial institution is going to have to see that you use that limit. Meaning, if I have a $1,000 credit card, Capital One, I have to max that credit card out. Have to max it out. I have to get it to at least 95%. I'm going to tell you exactly how you do this. And you have to kind of stick with me because it's kind of complicated. And it even gets a little complicated with me, for me. And so sometimes you have to call your financial institution because the statement date is going to be your key. When you're maxing out credit cards to get limit increases, you have to know the statement date because you have to pay before that statement date. You have to pay it off. So let's say I have a due date of November 5th. I have a due date of November 5th. My statement date would be October 30th. That or something like that. I have to pay it off by October 30th. As long as you're paying it off by your statement date, right? Not the due date, but the statement date, then you are not going to incur interest. And I believe, and I made a video about this, you have to pay on your due date because you're trying to build a relationship with the financial institution. So you're going to pay a little interest. That's the way I teach people to build a relationship with financial institutions. But when you're trying to look, or when you're trying to get a limit increase on your credit cards, if you have $1,000 credit card and you're only using $200 of that credit card, chances are they're not going to give you a huge limit increase. And so what you have to do is you have to use $900 of that credit card. And what I would do is I would use $900, pay it off by the statement date. Call your financial institution. Listen, call your financial institution and find out when your statement date is. Know your statement date. Know that you have to pay it off by that date. Even if you have the money, pay it off by the statement date. Don't wait for the due date. Pay it off by the statement date. Get it to about 2 to 7% by the due date. I know I'm complicating this for you guys, but understand that you have to use a lot of your card. Do this for 3 months, and then after that, what you want to do is you want to call your financial institution and say, hey, look, I need a limit increase. You have to increase the limit on my credit card because I'm not able to use enough on my credit card. And chances are if they see that you're using 90 to 95% of your credit card, they will give you a limit increase. Especially if you're paying it by your statement date. Because they know you know the game. Right? Because most people wait until the due date and pay it then. But if you're paying it by your statement date and you're paying that credit card off, then at that point you should be okay. They will definitely give you an increase at that point. And that is the credit. That's how you play this game of credit, right? That's how you get to the next level and start building your credit limits. Not necessarily going out getting a bunch of credit cards, but focusing on getting limit increases on your credit cards. Get credit cards that are going to give you limit increases. Secure credit cards are not going to do it. If they graduate to an unsecured, great. But a normal secure credit card is not going to do it for you. So these are the things that you can do to prepare yourself while you're going through the credit repair process. These are the things that you need to be aware of before the credit repair process, especially if you're trying to work with me. I don't work with everybody. And so understanding your credit profile, understanding what it is that you're trying to accomplish. It's not about having a pretty credit report. It's about getting approved on good terms. And that's all I really care about. I don't want you to just go around saying I have an 850 FICO score. That means absolutely nothing to me. But getting approved for loans. So you can have a high credit score and a 720 and still get declined because one, it could be a very thin credit profile, or two, you could have a high utilization and that way you're not getting approved. Maybe you don't have the right mix of credit. Understanding that you're trying to put yourself in the best position possible so that when people, especially an underwriter, looks at your credit profile, They see that you understand credit, and they're going to want to work with you because they know you understand it. And knowing, they say knowing is half the battle. I say knowing is 80% of the battle. The 20% is the doing. Doing it is easy, but getting the knowledge and knowing what to do is the hard part, because you have to fish through so much information that's on YouTube, and there's a lot of people out here giving a lot of crazy information out here that is really going to put people, it's going to hinder their growth. Alright, so I really appreciate your guys' time. I normally don't talk this long in my videos, but I just wanted to reach out to you guys. I'm going down this road, and I wanted to just make something for you guys. And like I said, I really appreciate your time. If you guys got a chance, go ahead, subscribe to this channel, like the video if it helped you get to the next level. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. God bless. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.